but I thought it was really too big to fit, and I'm sorry. Did we start already?
Yeah, but go ahead. That's actually that's probably gonna be. No, that's a lie. It's not gonna be more interesting than what the fuck we're gonna read. Hello, people of the chat, and possibly if you're watching later, hello, people watching this.
You're historians of the future. This is what 2017 was like.
Or possibly.
Oh yay! It's Rhetoric's website. Oh god, I can't wait.
Today, we are gonna be taking a look, as Willie said, at this website that Rhetoric and Discourse stumbled upon in one of his streams, debunking something almost as stupid.
Yeah. So everything that happens from here on in is my fault, and I'm sorry.
No, not entirely your fault. I'm pretty sure these idiots are also at fault. After all, they did make it.
That's true.
This website is called Godtype. I have no idea why. I'm sure we're gonna find out. And it is
my god,
we're
gonna have a headache.
Yeah. So this website comes highly recommended by Rob Skiba, the flat earther. That's who introduced me to it.
What the fuck is that color even?
I don't know. It looks like teal and fuchsia, like barfed. Oh, maybe not fuchsia.
It looks like someone had diarrhea on a blue guy.
This really reminds me of those scam emails from like a Nigerian prince.
Oh shit!
Like,
what's his name? What's that guy's name that answers scam emails? Is it James Veach?
No,
Veach. Yeah,
I think it's James Veach. Yeah, that guy. I recently rewatched all his videos, and some of them seem a little unreal. But yeah, this does seem like a Nigerian prince email scam.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it gets. Let's read about it.
Oh god.
Okay, since this is my fault, I want to start.
See, look, isn't it pretty?
Jesus.
That diagram.
Fuck.
Now there's you call that a diagram? This is a diagram.
Jesus Christ.
I think Jesus Christ is involved in this actually. So yeah,
probably.
Yeah. Well, they mention religion a few bits.
Look, he's the sun type. Part of the Trinity type.
The Trinity type. There's a quote by Albert Einstein, which I'm pretty sure isn't real.
The distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly present illusion. He could have said that, but yeah, no, I don't think so.
It's very nonsensical, so yeah, probably.
He could have. Then again, he's quoted everywhere, so.
Yeah, he might.
Yeah.
They could have literally changed the name of Mark Twain, and everyone would have believed it as well.
Well, it's reasonable to say that, ooh, I gotta poop. Oh, wait, no, it was just a fart. Quote, Albert Einstein. So, I mean...
You have to say it in German.
Shit. I think I shit my... I can't do
it.
No,
that was not Chinese.
Yeah, that was very not German.
Oh, shit. Well,
I'm sure
bad
you
with
will correct us.
Unless I'm hearing them.
You... so you read.
My fault, my read. Okay. Godtype.com is the home of 3 simple theories, philosophical concepts.
Thank
okay,
you.
That's a weird way to redefine theory.
Okay.
let's. I guess on the bright side, they're not trying to be scientific theory. So, on the bright side,
it is actually a quote from Albert Einstein.
Oh, is it?
The context is now here. He as
the context is relativity.
Yeah, I'm trying to actually figure out where he actually did say it, like in what book.
Well, that's good to know. At least I got that type.
yeah.
Who said it? There was. I don't remember who I was watching, but maybe it might have been Mortimer or someone. But if you want to steal somebody's credibility, the best way to do it is quote them at the beginning of anything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
And Spirit Science was notorious for that. They would quote people that weren't even talking about what the video concerned, and we could talk about that all day. But I think we should read Godtype.
Yeah.
All right. 3 philosophies which have sprung from the lifetime of research into the mechanics versus organismic.
I think the word you're looking for is organic.
Yeah. not off to a good start.
That's not a real word.
Organismic.
Can I just? I actually did find the source.
Okay.
So it seems a friend of him died, Michael Bissot, and he wrote a letter of condolence to the Bissot family, and it contained the phrase, "Now he has departed from this strange world a little ahead of me. This signifies nothing. For those of us who believe in physics, the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion." I think what he's trying to say is that time is only linear for us experiencing.
It's not. Yeah, it's basically like a poetic use of A and B theory of time.
Yeah, which I think, with the actual context, it is pretty cool, to be honest. It makes sense.
It works a lot better in that context.
In the context of of a letter like that, yeah.
But the real question is time organismic?
Organismic.
I've never organism, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, we just say organismic.
I'm gonna start using that word.
Yeah.
Organistic.
Orgasmic. I'm just gonna
Organismic.
Seems reasonable.
It's probably more reasonable than this.
Probably getting back to whatever it is we're doing here.
Read on.
Let's get back to whatever this is.
This is going to be one of those websites where we're going to spend the whole time trying to figure out what the point of the website is, isn't it?
It's exactly the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
The other one we did with that guy with IQ of
Numologic, H-Numal.
Yeah,
Wikipedia.
Isn't that other than the fact that whenever we stumble upon a website that's particularly heinous in whatever way, be it scientific or just, common sense wise. Yeah. A lot of the times, whenever we look at some of these websites, it's not so much that we found anything particularly heinous. It was just like we saw the website, and our first thought was, why? What was the impetus that drove the creation of this website?
Not why. What?
Okay, yeah, what? well, the why, as my. I can't remember his name. It's a philosophy professor at my college. As he would say, the why is the most important.
All right. So, orgasmic worldviews.
What's that asshole?
I didn't know the word. These two worldviews.
Research that has been described by theologian Peter Jones' thesis on there ultimately only being 2 possible philosophical decisions on Earth. One ism, organismic and human-centered teaching, all as one, versus 2ism, mechanistic and God-centered teaching that the creator is distinct from his creation.
Okay, I think what he's trying to say that is either God is part of our universe or he's distinct from it and not part of our universe.
How come it makes more sense when you say it?
Shit.
Probably because I'm not high on mushrooms, unlike this guy.
Yeah, and he also didn't make up words to explain his idea. All of those words in and out of context make sense to us.
Mm-hmm. God-type discoveries bring together 3 seemingly unrelated subjects.
Oh boy.
Judeo-Christian theology, philosophy of time. Okay, so I this is entirely a tangent, but I understand, and I know the reason why it's Judeo-Christian and not Judeo-Christian Muslim or Islam,
Yeah.
but they're the same goddamn thing.
Well,
Like,
not the same thing, but it's the same god. Yeah.
It's the same god.
Well, they're all
really.
Abrahamic.
Yeah, you have the original story and its 2 sequels.
But
like,
I guess Judaism and Christianity is more similar than.
Well, you could think of
Islam.
it. You could think of it as
really.
You could think of it as Die Hard 1, which is Christianity, and then Die Hard 2, which is essentially the same movie but different.
No, the
Judaism.
No. The first Die Hard is Judaism. Judaism came first.
It did come first.
I was gonna say in its prevalence and practice.
I was gonna say it's like A New Hope.
I wasn't talking about time wise. I was more referring to universal acceptance.
Oh, okay.
That's why the metaphor came into play. People would most generally say Die Hard 1 was good. 2 is essentially the same shit, and 3 is the same thing but worse.
So is Islam the third one?
Which one is the Book
Islam?
of Mormonism?
3.
No, the Book of
The Book of
Mormonism.
Mormonism. Mormonism is
Live free or
the
die
one that don't
hard.
drink
No,
sugar.
Mormonism-
It's Die Hard sugar free.
No, Mormonism is the one with the hacking.
Oh,
Which was
so
that one?
would that be
4.0.
Wait, isn't the Mormonism the one where you can get to be a god yourself and then poop out an unlimited amount of god babies?
Yes.
Something like that. You get.
Wait, you
to
do
live
get your
on
own planet.
Yeah, you will get your own planet.
Yeah, don't you get to be god of your own planet though?
You know
Or
what?
do you get to get all the
No.
ladies on that planet?
You know what? I can do that
You know,
without
set
having
aside
to
all
believe
the-
in it and die. I can play there are simulators I can play and get that experience and
Black and White comes to mind.
Well,
Well-
the whole thing is you get ladies, so I think we have just discovered Micro's fantasies. are all
wait,
digital.
what?
Well, yeah, right. You get your own planet, you get all the ladies on the planet. Isn't that the Mormon thing?
No.
I don't know.
I
That
thought they
Mormons
were
are
all in-
Mormonism.
Right, they're all into like polygamy and shit, and like having all the women's.
They were, but then the U.S. government said no, it's illegal. and then coincidentally, the guy running it, Joseph Smith, coincidentally, just after it had been announced that the U.S. government had told them to stop, he basically came out and say, "Oh no, God says no now."
Oh, this must be why the racism thing has stopped with them too.
Okay, screw all of that stuff. All of that stuff is to some degree easy to understand. Someone needs to explain their planet idea to me because from what I understand, when you die, you get your own planet for you and your family. But by extension, doesn't your family also get their own planet? So is this like a really, really bad family reunion barbecue where people are trying to shove their planets into one another, or what the fuck?
Wait, no.
No, I think only the dude gets the planet, like the patriarch of the family.
Yeah,
gets the planet.
I think you hit the nail on
Yeah,
it.
and then you get to bring all your
But
bitches.
even that doesn't answer the question because that patriarch dies and then another one becomes patriarch. So you have ascending levels of family members that are all eventually,
Maybe-
by their own admission, going to get their own planet.
That's true. Maybe you get like clones. Like maybe you each get a planet with beings that are essentially your
Sweet.
family.
To be honest, it's not like that's so far fetched to understand because it's not like there's any deficiency of planets in the universe. I mean, everyone can have at least one planet.
Do you only
obviously.
get planets that there's no life on already, or can you end up with somewhere where there's already like a civilization?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Can other planets like can the planets go to war after you die?
Yeah. Can there be like a Mormon war planet?
I want to see that.
Planet war?
so basically, when you die, you just get like a really good or really lifelike version of a 4X strategy game.
Pretty much.
So I'm thinking in Mormon planet, like fucking Unicron from Transformers, just going around devouring other little Mormon planets.
Oh God.
Right? I know. I'd make as much. So I gotta read this comment because this comment is hilarious. Hickman says, "Do side bitches get moons?"
Okay. I would love to say yes, just 'cause, you know.
In our version of Mormonism, it does.
Yes.
They do.
So our version of Mormonism has giant robot planets. So
Yeah. Look,
We're the better
any-
Mormonism.
You can like any religion would be improved by including giant robots in it.
Yeah.
Any.
Why haven't we started our own religion, guys?
What do you think this is? What do you think this is?
That's true. I've toyed with the idea of like starting like a flat Earth channel and seeing how big I can make it by pretending to be a flat earther. I think we should start our own like church and see how far we can take it.
You know, that would be fun.
I would love to agree with you, but
of people taking it seriously.
yeah, that would require effort.
No, more that I don't want to be responsible for some kind of heinous, or indirectly responsible for some kind of heinous thing that our followers would do 200 years in the future.
Yeah, you know, and they'd look back on us, and to be honest with you, history might not look back on us well as it is.
So dear archaeologists of the archaeologists of the future who has found this video, did we start our own religion, and how did that go?
Send us a back in time letter.
Yeah, send
us a letter to our planet.
The robot
P.O.
butler would take care of it. Wow, this is
P.O. box way out in space.
We're also really far out on a tangent.
I said it was going to be a tangent. I told you it was before I even started the conversation.
Okay, read on.
Can I just say one thing about this website? Okay, so it's called Godtype, and whenever I first got sent the link, when y'all graced me with this garbage, my initial thought was that this was like a Christian learn to type game, or a place where you get typefaces at, like a font, like God font. So
I want to make a typing game where it's all Bible references.
See, that's exactly what I thought it was going to be at first. I was like, oh God, this must be like a game where the game is incredibly stupid and has a weird sharp left turn, but nope, just turns out to be just stupid.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of stupid. All right, so
I'm not going to be able to read because I do not have access to my laptop right now. So that's going to be relegated to y'all. I just get to make snarky comments.
That's why we keep you around, Smelly.
Oh,
for the
thanks,
comments.
Keep reading, you bastard.
All right, where was I? Oh yeah, Judeo-Christian theology, philosophy of time, and the science of cognitive psychology.
There is wait. I thought he said they were completely unrelated. There is a philosophy of time and the science of cognitive psychology do have an overlap. Because part of philosophy of time is also how we perceive time.
Well, there you go. I don't know. I don't know philosophy. Yeah. If you say so.
Philology.
Organismic. Are we just saying made up words now?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sweet.
Made up words are the best kind of words.
Exactly. Because you're the only one who knows what they mean.
Mm-hmm. Created and edited by Milton Thomas Fleitas, a philosopher of science. That's also a made-up word. A philosopher of science who has come to view humanity and time through the tainted views of Orthodox Christianity and Judaism.
Well, it's nice to know that he admits it's tainted.
Yeah.
Not colored, tainted.
Not colored, tainted. Yeah, it's awful.
No, by definition, tainted is bad. Like if you taint something, That's a
Okay,
negative
are
I think
thing.
he meant tinted. I'm pretty sure he meant tinted and doesn't know how to spell. And put tainted instead of tinted.
Well, if that's the case, then he added way too many letters to organic, and he needs to go back and fix that. We'll start with that one, and then we'll say that his tainted reference was terrible because what is he supposed to mean there?
So is it supposed to be mechanic versus organic instead of mechanistic versus organic?
Well, mechanistic is a word. Organismic just isn't.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, when you're referring to anything that is an organism, you would say that it is organic.
Yeah, I feel like organic would be a better word. Like organic versus mechanic would have been.
Well, it would be correct. It would be a word that actually exists.
Well, this guy, wrote this without a dictionary or a thesaurus or his frontal lobe, so...
Wild on mushrooms.
Wild on mushrooms, yes.
He made a discovery. The first discovery was Godtype copyright for something as described in Genesis, blah blah blah, which states that man was created in the image of God. If the Christian faith is to be taken seriously, it's not. Then Genesis, blah blah blah, should stand the test of science. Okay, so far there's not a discovery, but
again, why? So I'm gonna harp on this point because I think it's hilarious. Why isn't Islam in there? It's got the same book.
Because
well,
I know it's because they're brown. I understand it.
That's a religion with brown people.
Like I
have that.
I feel like harping on it. Like it's the same goddamn thing. They're just brown. It's okay, people.
Although I do agree, their selective exclusion does seem rather odd.
Of course they are.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same book. They have Genesis. They have it's the same nonsense. So why not include all the nonsense together?
Well, if they don't, well, and I think this might actually help us come to that point, and it's sort of the whole they're Muslims, so they're wrong, or however of the many thousands of ways you could state this. Because if they lend credence to these two with the added caveat that they're going to completely ignore Islam, because in this, by trying to prove those two, they sort of in a way prove the third, and I think by them leaving it out, they're trying to sort of gloss over that fact.
Yeah, I suppose, but it's also like Judeo-Christian or not, they're mutually exclusive to one another. It's not like they're necessarily compatible themselves.
No, and I mean, Jesus. Neither Jesus nor Isaiah or Abraham had flying horses, so
that's true. But still, you can't be you can't be a Christian Jew. That's not compatible. Those are separate religions for a reason. So,
I'm not disagreeing with you because I understand that they're contradictory belief structures, but there are Jews for Jesus.
Yeah,
that's
true. There are Jews for Jesus.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here.
It really sounds like a porn term.
Yeah, it does. Sounds like a really weird fetish.
Yeah. Okay, but anyways, God's to get talking.
Off. Oh yeah.
God's talking to
Instant
us.
Demonetization. Oh god.
We don't monetize, so.
Oh god.
You're still gonna get demonetized. Don't worry about it.
That's coming.
They don't
rest
care.
assured.
But God's speaking now. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness." God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. He also liked to repeat himself a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So that's...
It's almost like there was two different stories that people mashed together.
It's also almost like they had to make it easy to remember because it started as an oral tradition. But fuck that. Stop repeating yourself, God. Well, that's just normal Bible shit. Let's get to the not normal Bible shit.
Oh man, they're actually going to explain their nonsense here. That's great.
Dan, Would you like to read the explanation?
No, but I guess I have.
Fair enough. That's the correct answer, actually. Really.
Godtype is represented by a three-circle colored Venn diagram, a triquetra, which represents the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit of Orthodox Christianity. Oh god. Lactris, it paradoxically displays YHWH?
Yahweh.
Yahweh. Oh,
How is that paradoxically? That's
Because
not a paradox.
I don't know.
because you can't actually say Yahweh, probably.
No,
I don't
that's just because there aren't any vowels in Hebrew.
Oh.
They're implied.
Yahweh, Messiah, and Ruach Holy Spirit of ancient Judaism. This
Okay,
diagram.
the Holy Spirit isn't part of Judaism. That's a very Christian thing.
This diagram illustration creates a unique infinity three-fish symbol at its center. What? Okay. Which represents the Trinity in time. This two-dimensional image below is a simplistic representation of what must be a minimum a four-dimensional sphere. God-type sequence gives evidence to 5 dimensions. But I honestly think it might be 6 dimensions, but what do I know? Yet the three-circle Venn diagram is a very accurate representation of a four-dimensional sphere.
No.
What?
A four-dimensional sphere does not look like that.
Doesn't look like a Venn diagram. You sure?
I'm sure it's not a Venn diagram.
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, the things cats say.
It's like best way I can explain it, because you obviously can't visualize. I think it's called a hypersphere, and I think it's like a donut almost, where the donut part is the fourth dimension, so we will only see the sphere.
Are you gonna bring in toroidal fields into this nonsense?
Kinda.
I've heard enough
Just,
toroidal nonsense.
You guys realize that for some reason, chat has gone weirdly sexual. Like, what even?
Yeah.
What do you mean weirdly?
Chat gone sexual. Is this like a prank? Are we being pranked?
The chat went on their own thing already.
No.
And electricity in one sentence. So
Smelly, it's not a prank. It's a social experiment.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. I didn't know we were going the Foozy Tube explanation of everything.
Please see your research here.
Okay, is anybody else morbidly curious to see that show Fight of the whatever the hell that new Logan or Jake Paul show is on YouTube Red?
I have no idea what you're talking about, so no.
Oh, dude, it's been heavily advertised recently, and the first episode is free on the front page of YouTube pretty much every fucking time I get on YouTube.
I don't really go to the front page because I've just saved the subscriptions tab as the YouTube thing. I even at some point, which sadly doesn't work anymore, but at some point I actually got like a script that would mean that if I click the YouTube logo, it would take me to the subscription page instead. It would modify the page.
That's a lot of effort into avoiding the homepage of the site.
No, not really. It was just typing it in, clicking activate on it, and then it worked.
Well, there was a Tom Scott video on the trending page the other day.
Awesome.
Yeah, right? It's about the best thing I can say about the trending page.
I heard what's his face got a good trending. Telltale Atheist got like promoted by.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they got promoted by YouTube, and he got like a crap ton of subscribers from it.
Awesome.
Yeah, dude, his channel's been killing it recently, and he's come out with some really good stuff. So if y'all haven't, if anybody watching hasn't checked him out yet, you really should. I'd highly recommend him.
Yeah, he's got some really cool stuff. He really does.
very articulate, has a voice that's fun to listen to, and he draws while he gives you something to look at. So that's always
So unlike the rest of us who are just incoherent drunks all the time.
For a moment there, I thought you were gonna say he draws while you masturbate.
Why? Why, Micro? Why would you say that?
I don't know. I'm sick.
Oh no!
Oh, God. Okay, I had to mute myself because I got a little loud. That was good. That was very good. But no, he does not draw you while you masturbate. He draws you while you have sex with animals.
No. He paints you like one of his friend's girls.
I fucking knew that was coming. I knew somebody was gonna say that.
That's not the only thing that's coming.
Jack, paint me like one of your French girls.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, Jesus.
What have I done?
33 minutes in and we've hit the rock bottom.
I would say that the chat is probably wondering the same thing if they haven't already all gotten off while having cyber sex with one another. I love you guys. I hope you know that. I'm just kidding. Or am I?
Well, Tyler Durden decided to show up but criticizes.
Good.
Oh, God.
Rhetoric&Discourse, I think it's your turn.
Dan hasn't read yet. Dan, read a thing.
Yes, he did. He just read that.
Yeah, you just read it. You just read it. See, we were so bogged down in our own bullshit. It's like we didn't even hear the most soft-spoken and awesome person in this group.
Oh, wait. Well, wait. Look, if I thought this was like a paragraph. It's not. It's just that the picture is put in such a way that it has to create this. The sentence actually continues here.
It doesn't have to. There's plenty of space there.
Yeah, but the picture's just been put in the text.
Someone sucks at website design.
Really? You don't say.
Ah.
I wonder if there's even a hexadecimal sequence for that putrid color.
I kind of want to find out.
Well, we can. We can. Print screen.
Right. Yeah, and then go into GIMP, and then
that's what I was going to do. I was about to bring out GIMP.
And
apparently, Micro's more into this.
It's 7799 BC. So
I was hoping that it was going to come up with a ER.
I think it doesn't go. The hexadecimal doesn't go to R. So.
It
oh no, I meant error.
I know.
Error. Come on, guys.
Why does your geekiness have to destroy Smelly's joke?
Yeah, come on, man. Just don't think too
because
much
I didn't,
about it. Like they clearly didn't for this website.
No, because I didn't get the joke until he pointed out. I didn't get the joke before until after I ruined it.
Yeah, because I know hexadecimal only goes to 8 and what F or G, whatever the 8th letter of the alphabet is.
A, B, C, D, E.
And then it goes to
I now can't remember the rest of the song in English. Great.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, so it's H. I was wrong.
Yeah.
Smelly, did you say that hexadecimal only goes to 8 and then
8 in the alphabet?
No, it goes to 9 and then the alphabet.
No.
Okay,
no.
see,
he meant like the 8th letter in the alphabet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, bro, because they said it doesn't go to R. I know it doesn't go to R.
R. Only pirate the hexadecimal goes to R.
Hey, what's a pirate's favorite letter?
R.
You'd think it'd be the R, but it's actually the C.
Ah.
God. Oh, holy fuck. Alright, guys, I just want to point out that it has been 37 minutes and we've covered one paragraph. And I have to go early.
I'm sorry. Oh, goodness. I'm supposed to read now, right?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, dude, I just can't wait. I can't wait until we have a treat. I have a treat for you guys, and I'm debating on sending it to you early because
I know what the treat
who all
is.
know? Yeah. Okay. So I'm still working on my most recent video. I've decided I was gonna make it real short so that I could have it out by Halloween. But as I was making it, I started realizing like there's no fucking way. There's no way I'm gonna be able to cram this in like a week and a half. So I decided to start getting external, just sources, things that I could use for the video. And I found the best thing I've ever found on the internet. And it's a Christian Science health book.
Oh, my.
It's called Science and Health. And the annotations alone, before you even start reading the book, the annotations that run down the side of it looks like it was written in the same manner as Dante's Inferno. Like it's written in the same couplets and shit. That's not couplets though. I forget what the actual term for that was, but it's written in very much the same manner, and there's annotations running alongside the text, and they're fucking awesome. Like spiritual mathematics is one of them.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! I have to see that.
Yeah, Dan, I will send it to all of you because it's beautiful. It's one of those like kiss your fingers type situations.
So,
and since I've been kind of sick, I haven't really been doing anything.
Article 8, this paragraph yet?
I don't know.
Dying.
Bad pirate jokes are way better.
Yeah. For a second, it sounded like you said bad parrot jokes.
I mean,
okay, let's read.
I'm actually now because of this website. It's so obscure that we have to find its reasons for existence.
It's true. All right.
I mean, we can't go this far into the stream and not actually address the website. So we have to get to it.
You assume that people come and watch us for our debunking skills of the website.
Wait,
maybe if we start debunking it properly, we might actually get more viewers.
That's probably true.
But we'll have less fun.
Yeah.
Very good point as well.
You know, at a certain point, YouTube becomes a job.
Oh God, read.
Oh yeah.
Well, no. So no. Another tangent.
Just read while I'm start reading.
You've seen my longer and harders, right, Dan?
That sounded so wrong.
I know. I kind of regret titling my.
But, I didn't know.
Can someone just start some porno music already?
I really didn't know we discussed these things in public, but
It's an American thing, I think.
You've seen my Sunday stream.
Oh.
I've had the people who I talk about in the streams come into the comment section and complain that I don't actually debunk them during the whole 2 hours that I'm doing the show.
I remember that
because I spent all my time dicking around instead of actually talking about whatever it is that I'm supposed to be talking about. And the people who I'm supposed to debunk get pissed at me. Which I just love.
It's a government conspiracy. Now read.
Okay. So, Godtype simply displays what is so obvious within the modern cognitive science. Each temperament, when grouped by time, mirror the historical descriptions of the biblical Trinity. Judeo-Christian orthodoxy teaches that the image of God is much more than physical. Both Jewish and Christian teachings show us that God the Father and the God of Abraham in spirit/energy. The image must then refer to our spirit, to our energy, or what theology calls the soul, which manifests itself on the earth time within the incredible human mind.
What?
I don't know. I know I read it.
I'm more confused now than I've ever been.
I know that I just read it.
Okay, I'm not even gonna attempt to try and figure out what the fuck it's saying. I'm just gonna read off.
The God of Abraham is the spirit energy?
This is what cognitive science has been giving evidence to since their inception.
No, it hasn't.
No, I'm gonna go with no on that one. Next.
They should start using this to test people's reading comprehension.
Yeah.
Some sort of cruel joke.
Have likewise been teaching this as well. I'm not sure why 4 is in parentheses, but okay. The 4, I guess technically the undeniable human-based temperaments, NT, NF, SP, and SJ.
Yeah, they're referring to personality. There's like personality tests and shit where you can get your personality
Yeah, but
type on the internet.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, and
They
those
took a
those
BuzzFeed
things
quiz.
classify. Yeah, it's essentially a fucking BuzzFeed quiz that girls use to brag about on Facebook.
Are these the ones that companies will use?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Has been taught for centuries. Appeal to old time. I can't remember.
Antiquity.
Antiquity.
Antiquity. Yeah.
Yeah. A paradox which I have here. Okay, I just got so confused by his use of paradox because that's not a paradox.
I don't think he knows the meaning of the word. This is like the second or third time he said paradox, and I don't think
he must have a word of the day calendar, and he's just shoving words wherever they fit.
Theoretically,
or don't fit.
The 4 personalities of the Holy Trinity. What?
Yeah, I'm still really confused by that.
Theoretical on its surface, true and orthodox at its core, and completely nuts to everyone else.
Yeah, it's because it doesn't make sense.
Dan, it's your turn to read.
Yay.
Wait.
So,
okay, good. We're not going to discuss how confusing that was. Go ahead, Dan. Just read.
yeah, I understand this completely.
Can we talk about the chart? I want to talk about the chart. Venn diagram.
We can get to the fucking... Okay, Rhetoric, can you add the percentages up and see if they actually do come to 100%?
Okay.
Because I don't feel of even lifting a fucking calculator for this.
41.66.
Well, I have a calculator in my hand.
Teachings. Okay, well, I mean,
3 plus 8.33. 99.95. So no.
Yeah,
where's the other 0.05%?
0.05% of God is missing.
It's reoccurring.
It's fucking missing.
Yeah.
I can't find it.
It's because it's reoccurring.
Yeah, that does actually make sense.
or it could be because this is nonsense.
I love that it says
Maybe.
Look, it says percent represents percentage. Wow, thank you. Of humanity according to scientific research.
Wait. 41% of humanity is father? Is that
you're asking me like I would know the answer?
This is similar to trying to find like nutritional value in literal garbage.
Yeah. Okay. So, teachings that make it clear that God, the Father, is Spirit, Israel's provider and protector, the inspector, of our lives, and supervisor of all our affairs.
He watches you masturbate.
God the Son is Messiah and the Redeemer, our healer and our teacher, the mighty counselor and champion over death, as well as future battle with the adversary, i.e. Lucifer, or the devil, Beelzebub. What else can you call the cunt? The cunt I have tattooed on my arm, paradoxically already won a cross at Calvary. I do actually have him tattooed on my arm, by the way, just so you know.
Ooh.
God the Holy Spirit is our helper, the promoter of the Holy Scriptures. let's give us a proper Safa accent. The composer of life on the planet Earth, the performer, the miracles who crafts each and every one of us within the womb.
It's like the titles in Game of Thrones, like the really really long, like descriptions, like titles that the royalty will have. It's like that.
I guess.
This is one of those things where it's like the more they explain it, the less I understand it.
I don't. What are these words? Like, why is God these things?
I don't know, because acid.
Why did we check
Because a blow to the head with a knife. I don't know.
this website?
Wait, so how do you get a blow to the head with a knife?
Well, so
See,
there's
because
that
those
dude.
things don't make sense.
Fair point.
There's that dude who, in the U.S., he used to lay down rail back when.
Oh, Phineas Gage.
Yeah, it's like that. That's the only way that I can think of it. It's like Phineas.
Fuck is that?
So
he had a rod go through his head.
yeah, he had a railroad spike. He was doing something with like explosives or something like. I can't remember exactly what he was doing.
And he didn't die.
Like rammed through his jaw, through the back of his eye, and through one side of his frontal lobe. And
Oh
he
shit!
lost his eye, but he survived. But because he was now missing part of his brain, his personality changed.
Yeah, it's almost like all of us are in our head.
It's in your head.
End up like,
In your head.
believing more in God.
Yeah. So apparently he was an asshole afterwards.
Yeah, he became a huge asshole, which makes sense because the frontal lobe is involved in
Personality.
in like not being impulsive.
Yeah, impulse control is.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
So you could argue that his fate is worse than death.
Yep. He stayed alive and just became an asshole, and nobody liked him, and he just became an alcoholic and died.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
That's actually more sad than if he was just killed outright. That's my
But
opinion.
it made for an interesting case study on the human brain because we learned a whole lot about it from it. Like the fact that our brain kind of tells us what we do.
You see, the thing is, it's okay to study someone's brain after it happened, you're going for an accident, instead of performing the action for the matter of science.
So what you're saying is that we need to cause more accidents.
Exactly.
And this is where the U.S. has no gun control.
We need to cause more accidents. Oh shit! That's
Have you been injured in an accident at work that wasn't your fault? Our neurological department may want to speak to you.
Oh, let's actually have an interesting conversation here. Smelly, what do you think of gun control in the US?
Oh man, that's it's shit. I'll tell you that. I mean, that's an easy one to jump to. I'm just gonna try to say a whole bunch of stuff without ever saying anything to. I'm gonna Hillary Clinton this situation and say a bunch of stuff without ever connecting them.
Mm-hmm.
No, but seriously,
I don't think that's
gun control in the United States. I feel like guns don't deter gun violence, so it doesn't really make sense for people to carry guns openly. Because in Texas, we have open carry laws.
Mm-hmm.
There was actually Scientific America did a really great paper on not gun violence, but if guns actually deter crime. And they did a really great study, and it pretty much came out as no. Like if you it was something like if you own a gun in your home, you're like 5 times more likely to get into some sort you're 5 times more likely to actually be shot than somebody who doesn't own a gun in your home.
Yeah, and here's what I can say definitively about gun control. I think it's bullshit that the NRA basically went after the CDC because the CDC was going to do experiments and studies. There we go. That's the word I couldn't spit out that you've said 4 times now.
You're welcome.
They were going to do studies to see the implications that come about maybe not the implications, the outcome of different scenarios regarding ownership of a gun, and the NRA outright went after them and basically made it almost impossible for them to do that. And I think that's bullshit. I think with their input, we would have a better way of communicating the maybe not dangers applied directly with owning a gun, but the results that come after, incidents wherein X person had a gun and Y person had a gun, but one was the assailant and the other wasn't, but it turns out that the good guy died. Because I'm sure that happens a lot more than you would think.
The problem I have with the NRA is that they are benefiting themselves more than they're actually benefiting the actual rifle owners of America.
Well, they're getting paid by the people who make the guns.
Yeah, it's actually horrible the way you'd imagine that a rifles association would do everything in their power to assist gun owners, but so far from what I've seen, it really fucking doesn't.
Yeah.
Like the way they're trying to demonize bump firing stocks.
Oh yeah.
And they're trying to write the bill on it, which is the fucking stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. And I actually looked at the bill that was proposed to ban these things. They're not putting it forward as banning bump stocks. They're banning anything that can improve the rate of fire of a rifle, which is so fucking nebulous at best.
Like, well, and I think they backed off from that too. I don't think they're actually pushing that anymore. For a while, for like 2 days, the NRA was like, "Yeah, we should look into changing that legislation." But I think they've stepped away from actually pushing that. Now that it's been like a week or two since the last shooting.
Well, I kind of feel like no matter what the outcome for that situation was, I kind of look at, accessories and things like that for guns as sort of the same way that we should, or that we already do, look at, drugs in the United States. It's like, yeah, you made them all illegal, but there are still heroin addicts,
Yeah, it's
like you can go on YouTube and find 1,000 videos of how to make your single shot assault rifle at least a semi-auto.
And you do not have
just by buying random parts, filing shit off.
Yeah. If nothing else, I think the point that Smelly brought up is important. That even if we don't like the results, banning the CDC from actually conducting studies on gun control is bullshit.
Regardless of how I feel about guns, I think that's ultimately crap.
It's banning the ability of an agency to do research is always a bad thing. It doesn't make any sense to say you cannot collect data on this.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what the NRA has done. Is they've forbidden the CDC from ever doing research on gun control.
And I feel like that's tantamount to people that don't like vaccines trying to get the production of vaccines, which clearly fucking work, illegal, trying to change the legal status of shit like that. And then you get things like what happened at, in California, Disney World? Is it Disney World that's in California?
Yeah. No,
is it Disneyland?
Disneyland,
in California, or sorry, in Florida, and Disneyland is in California.
Yeah, the what was it? Mumps that broke out in California? Measles. There you go. I knew it was one of the M diseases.
Yeah, there's been a couple of pandemics, which is just ridiculous that we get them.
Not pandemics, epidemics.
Oh, epidemics. Sorry.
Yeah.
Pandemics.
Yeah, pandemic means it affected everybody.
Oh, sorry. Epidemics. There's been a couple of epidemics around the country of that, and that's just insane. Because we shouldn't. Because it's like mumps and measles. Like, we got rid of those shit. Or we should.
And the correlation between both of the arguments kind of have too many dings to be ignored. I mean, there are kids that die from just guns in their house because that probably came down to a parental issue.
on top of shelves instead of in locked boxes.
Yeah, I think
and there's so many.
The problem with I think America and gun control in general is that you have the media has this tendency to glorify any sort of gun violence in America. If you look at gun violence in South Africa, it is extremely high, yet the media doesn't report on it because it's kind of fucking pointless. There's no point proven because we already have super strict gun laws in place. It is practically impossible for anyone to get a semi-automatic rifle, let alone a fully automatic rifle. Yet people get the things in this country.
Exactly, and that's sort of the issue we
But-
have here. It doesn't matter
and
how
the
many
problem-
restrictions you place on it.
I know a couple of people that have been killed by full automatic rifles because I worked in CIT, and these people were themselves only carrying semi-automatic rifles because that's what they're issued. They're working at a private security company. They were killed with full automatic weapons. Where do these people get their weapons? Fuck knows. But yeah, but then again, nowhere was this ever reported in the media that people were being attacked by full automatic weapons. It's just not reported. The only thing here is people killed in gun battle. That's all. And then that's just piled on the rest of the news of all the other shits happening in South Africa. But every time a gun is used to kill someone in fucking America, it's inflated to an absurd proportion, and then this gives this illusion that America has this huge, overwhelming gun issue, where anytime you venture into the streets, you have like a 90% chance that you're going to be shot by some random person, which is obviously not the case because neither of you two have been shot or shot at, I assume.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know about Smuddy,
no,
but
I've
I
never
mean,
been. I live in a
it's-
state that's where people pride themselves on their gun ownership, regardless of the amount of guns that they own. And I mean, I've
Another
never
question.
personally
Have
felt
you
unsafe.
have you shot a rifle before? Anyone here? Is
Oh,
anyone
yeah.
here actually
Yeah, I
used
have.
any sort of gun?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I've shot
And
pistols
what do you think of it?
I don't
That
know.
I shouldn't
I
be
shot-
handed a gun because I 2 times I fired it where I didn't intend to fire it.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay.
I got no like if you I got no problem if you want to own a gun for like target practice or
Or,
just
like,
to shoot it
hunting
out
or-
or but the moment
about
that you
hunting?
say that you want to own it for safety, the science and the science behind it says that it's an ineffective tool to keep you safe. So
I disagree with that completely.
in the States, because we're talking about the States, and it might be different in you, but in the States, the studies
Because
that do
I'd
exist.
rather, because here you get attacked with guns used as a weapon against you. As in,
Sure.
I mean, sorry, not a weapon against you. That's a meaningless statement. I mean, guns here are sometimes used as a leverage for you. Like someone would sometimes like guns not even loaded because they can't even find ammunition, or it's not even a real gun. They use guns to lever you into giving you stuff.
Sure.
I would rather be in a position where I know I can take him out if I'm put at risk. You know, I'm not thinking really personally because personally, if I get shot, that's okay. But if I have people who are close to me, I would rather have that option to, not let them be killed.
Sure. And
And in South Africa, unfortunately,
yeah, in your
violence
country,
here
probably.
is ruthless. I mean,
In your country,
it's-
probably, but I'm talking about like in the States, which is what this conversation was about. In the
Yeah,
States, the studies that do exist show that owning a gun makes you less safe than not owning.
I have to apologize. Nectarblast actually did point this out to me as well. I tend to use South Africa as an argument, even though it's not really a good argument, I guess. Well, it's not a good
Yeah,
argument.
it's
Well,
it's,
well,
it's
and
a
you- and
special
you're-
It's not a good
case.
argument. Yeah.
where you're concerned, it's a fair
Yeah.
it's fair to bring it up because it directly affects you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Especially,
for instance,
I'm going to use this platform as well to speak about farm murders. Like white farmers are pretty much being killed out by black supremacist groups.
Jesus.
I'm being fucking serious. This is not even a conspiracy theory. The data is pretty fucking clear. Yet the media is extremely quiet about it. A couple of people, even I would say South African I can't say that fucking word. Start
celebrities.
bringing awareness to these situations. It is pretty fucking scary, and the farmers are being killed, and their weapons are taken away. It is pretty bad, and yeah, this is not very nice. Oh well, yeah, Neractabas just said that
In South
Like
America,
expect-
South Africa, you get killed with a machete for walking in the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah, Director was here. She knows how it is to be here.
Well, okay, so I'll give you a personal anecdote.
very
I was in downtown at a show. I watched a dude almost get mugged by an assailant with a knife, and all he did was he didn't even produce a gun, but he indicated that he had a gun by gesturing to his waist, because that's a thing.
Maybe he was just trying to say that he needed a pee.
Or suck my dick, or whatever. But
I will give you the money if you suck my dick.
now, I didn't see a gun, but his gesture indicated, hey, I have firepower. And in that instance, if he had a gun, it definitely saved at least his wallet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but on the other hand, if the guy had actually tried to stab him, it's unlikely that he would be able to pull out his gun before
In
being
time to
stabbed.
stop him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even so, in that small narrow case, I could say that, hey, maybe it saved somebody's life. But as far as the data goes, it's pretty unlikely.
I don't think that. I know it sounds really weird coming from me, but I don't really think walking with a firearm in the open, like in a city, is actually much beneficial to you. Most of the cases I'm talking about is usually what you guys like to call a home invasion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
You guys, I understand that in America, I've a lot of people that talk about home invasions, but that sort of thing is pretty high in South Africa, statistically wise.
Yeah, see, the whole gun control issue, I try to stay away from it because there's so many things to take into consideration whenever you start thinking about things like that. And I think that people a lot of times try to think in really narrow terms and bring up ideas.
Try to like you just brought up your anecdote, and I think a lot of people think about gun control in anecdotes and not in
rather than in actual hard facts.
Yeah. So they always, like, every time I've had a discussion with somebody who opposes me on gun control, it's always been like, well, what would you do if someone broke into your house with a gun? And it's always like, statistically speaking, no one's going to do that.
Give them what they want and then call the police.
It's like, yeah, but what if they try to rape your wife? It's like, no one does that. Like, I know that an outlier somewhere might happen, but statistically speaking, I'm going to be fine.
Most of the houses in South Africa, we have fucking walls and walls and shit to prevent these sort of things from happening. Also, most people in South Africa tend to not try and fight a home invasion of guns, because if you end up shooting the perpetrator, you would be prosecuted for murder. Because
same thing happens if you shoot your wife in the bathroom.
Okay, guys, but hey, I gotta go. I gotta go start getting ready for work.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I will try to listen into the rest of this. But okay, so when it comes to gun control, Smelly don't give a shit. Like, I mean, I care, but I try not to focus on it. Like, I hate to say that it's not an issue until something happens, but that's kind of how Americans work. Like, I hate to say it, but we don't really give a shit until something happens. Like, we don't care about infrastructure until 30 people die from a collapsing bridge. We don't give two shits about our water until somebody dies from, consuming lead. It's just, there's so many things to take into account. And if I was going to have a discussion like this, it would have to be in a way that wasn't restricting by time or the fact that we have ignored the website we're supposed to be taking a look at.
Who gives a fuck at the fucking website?
I know. This is par for the course. We mostly ignore the websites we ever look at.
Yeah.
We really should rename
anyway,
the show to Ignore the Website.
Yeah.
But the Ninja Turtles, guys.
See, I was hoping we would get to that.
Yeah, that's why I can't, I realized before we're not gonna understand this Godtype shit.
No, we're not.
Anyway, so there's no point.
I gotta get going.
We need to.
Right.
Bye, Smelly.
Talk to you later, Smelly.
Bye, guys. Y'all have fun, and I will be listening in once I get out of the shower.
All right. See you, dude.
Bye, guys.
Oh, I was hoping he would be listening while in the shower.
So we could make fun of him.
Yeah.
No, he's just thinking about PurpleDan's luscious hair. You can't get mad at me for complimenting your luscious hair.
I don't think it's too luscious. It could be better, but oh well.
I love this beginning. Not quite sure how to begin this film type research essay. It's been sitting on my proverbial shelf for 5 months now. Lots of dots. We created all of our illustrations months ago during the first week of release of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3D film reboot. I'm not sure why the 3D is there. I mean, there was a 3D version of the film, but it's like that's not the name of it.
Is it really a reboot? I guess it's a reboot, but
it is a kind of. It is a reboot, although
I don't remember there being like a Ninja Turtles franchise that was.
Yes, there were like in the like way back.
I don't know about you guys, but if I have to like review a student's treatises or something, and it starts like that, I'm putting it in a garbage straight away and giving him a fucking Z.
Just a weird use of the like 6 periods instead of 3.
When it's the most ridiculous thing I've seen, especially in people. I mean, I've seen third years start their like projects by saying, "So this is my project on ... Every time I get that, I shit myself. It's the most. It's writing.
Hello, my name is Kent Hovind.
Oh. Yeah, but you can do that in a video because I mean, you know.
That's his doctoral thesis.
Wait, you
that's
serious?
His doctoral thesis because you know he's Dr. Kent Hovind. He actually has a doctoral thesis or a dissertation, I should say, and it really does start with, "Hello, my name is Kent Hovind." There it is. File. Download that shit. It is ridiculous. Dedication page.
Blah blah blah.
Here we go.
Introduction. Hello, my name is Kent Hovind. I'm a creation science scientist. I live in Pensacola, Florida. All extremely relevant.
Okay.
Also, you want to see the best part?
There is lots of best parts about this.
Oh, it isn't there. There's literally parts where he hasn't completed it. Like in the index somewhere, there is like a way what he's gonna go through, and he mentions chapters that he never gets to.
Oh yeah, this is like the most poorly written thing.
It's annoying that I can't search in it. There is, because there's a great line I want to find about where he mentions Darwin's, I think it's his grandfather, and it's such a weird line.
But if you haven't read it, you should all go read.
Yeah, it's
Ken Hovind's dissertation.
I'd rather them not do that because I still like the fact that we have 237 subscribers. I mean, I don't want all those people to just die. You know, that would be not nice.
No, I don't think. I don't think the alignment is his alignment. I think these are
that's because it was written on a typewriter.
Yeah, so these are scan pages. So that's
So
give him
that's
a little.
why I can't search in it.
Yeah, give him a little break on that one. Not anything else though. Just on the alignment.
I can't find anyway. It's something like Erasmus Darwin was a very fat man. Like that's how he starts the sentence. Like that's relevant.
Yep.
I mean, it was. They literally had to cut like the hole in the table so he would fit. He could sit in and eat. Like they cut out a piece of the table.
They had to make the table go around him. But
it was at that time that my teenage, I don't know what teen is spelled, but is capitalized and why teenage isn't 2 words. Son asked me a simple question. Oh great, this idiot Brett.
Oh! I love the beginning of this. Dad, I understand your research. No, you don't, because nobody does. You're a lying little shit, you little kid.
I would just ask this guy to stop giving his kid mushrooms.
Oh my god, this reminds me of these Twitter posts where some person goes, "So my 2-year-old son or daughter just came up to me after watching this documentary on communism, and then asked me why." Fuck, I don't know. I can't even get a good example. But
Stalin was an atheist or whatever.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
I would just want to say, Dabber, the reason why passive voice is used in scientific papers is to distance yourself from the actual subject of research, because it sounds weird that you keep saying "I" and then like it's more natural it's a way of keeping it objective, sort of the language to seem objective.
Yeah. It's not objective, though, so I don't know why you do it. It's because you're not, I mean, you're being as objective as you can be, but it's still your research.
It's kind of a tradition at this point.
I know. It's
I have to stop when I'm writing a script. I have to stop myself from doing passive voice because it's so ingrained in me.
I had the biggest problem when when I was in college, I wrote a paper to submit for peer review. And it never got published, but I submitted one for peer review. And because I'm an English major, you're not supposed to do passive voice.
No, it's like Word hates it. It will put blue lines. Yeah. Like if you look at my like bachelor's thesis, it's nothing but just blue lines all the way.
Oh yeah, it was tough as an English major writing that paper was just, oh my god, it was painful to write it because like I had to rethink how I wrote everything. It was not, yeah. Avoiding I is very difficult to do when you're talking about something that you did.
Dad, I understand. Oh, it's I know it's a teenager, but I want to read it in a little kid's voice. Dad, I understand your research.
No, you don't, you little shit.
So shouldn't. Oh yeah, because teenagers definitely talk like this. So should not the colors and personalities of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles match the 4 Godtypes? So should not that no teenager talks like that. I don't care how you're raised. That is like no human being talks like that anymore.
You can tell that was a legitimate story.
Cool story, bro.
Cool story. Sure enough, as I question him on the personalities of each of the superheroes, one of them
quotes. There's
no superheroes.
How are they not superheroes? They're heroes, and they have superpowers basically.
Yep. No, they're not. Each one of them match one of the 4 temperaments. This, in it of itself, is an expected correlation of the self-evident 4-fold temperaments.
Just remember, this guy is using the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as evidence for his theory about God.
So, speaking of being an English major, I talked about this before, but being an English major, you learn to create arguments about bullshit. Like you really get very good at it because you can, if you read anything or watch any movie, you can find a connection, whatever connection you want, you can find it in your text. That's pretty much what this guy's doing. But you know, as an English major, you don't take that as evidence that you're correct. You take that as evidence that you're really good at convincing people of your bullshit. This guy actually takes it as evidence that he's correct.
Well, he kind of has to because he's not very good at convincing people.
Yeah. Okay. Yet, there are the odds of the 4 colors of Godtype. The odds? Yet, what are the odds? Oh, sorry. What are the odds? Yet, what are the odds of the 4 colors of Godtype based on the biblical research matching the branded colors of these now 30-year-old comic book heroes?
Wait,
will the Godtype colors match? I don't know. What are we looking up? The
I was
colors of
looking. I
keys?
want to look up when they were first made.
1984.
Yeah, 19. Yeah, okay, yeah, the match.
I think though, originally, if I remember right, they didn't have colors. The colors
No, they
came
didn't. And
later.
also, the original comic books is violent and fucked up as fuck.
Yeah, they didn't
Like
really.
it started out as really as an underground thing, and then they got That's why they didn't start out like pizza.
Yeah, they also didn't have like separate personalities or anything. They were just kind of.
They kind of. I haven't read it, but from what I remember, they kind of have different personalities, but they're not as distinct.
Yeah, the color thing came to distinguish them and give them different personalities for the twins.
Yeah, because otherwise they're literally identical.
Yeah. So yeah. So I
Dan, you want to read?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
That enthusiasm.
They certainly were to a level of exactness that has brought me the discoverer of the digital codes and the mathematical patterns behind the natural form we call Godtype to a point of bewilderness. This is why the further discoveries displaying Godtype's assertions that space-time is the most important facet of human cognition being shown off in the studio's authorized movie bursts are certainly amazing. Discuss.
Oh no! Can we go to the movie poster? Go down to the movie poster. I want to see this nonsense.
Here. Okay, so you have them here.
Oh, there we go. There we go. View of Time looks back to the past. So Leonardo is the father.
That's kind of true. He is more rooted into traditions. Like he is the more disciplined one since he's the leader, kind of.
I suppose. Again, if you're an English major, you understand that you can make any connections you want.
Someone doesn't know what a bandana is.
Bandana.
His bandana? That's not a bandana.
I don't know. I think you're being nitpicky.
It's more like a mask.
Yeah, I think you're being nitpicky there. It's kind of a bandana. Close enough to a bandana. Flows backwards to beginning. Okay. The key to cognition is time and space. Thinking, as it is expressed by SJs, is properly described as a correlative. Why can't I read that one? Correlative?
Yeah.
Is that a real word?
Correlative? Yeah, it is.
Okay. Decisions require quick and decisive action. Rules, law, justice. It is a deep understanding of history.
Okay, if decisions require quick and decisive actions, that's usually something you do on instinct, not correlative logic where you have to think about it.
That's true. Yeah, this is true. If you're thinking,
I love that thinking is in quotation marks.
Yeah, thinking, not really.
Also, again, he's using the fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to prove his fucking idea about God.
This is the best.
This is
I'm going to use the Avengers to prove quantum mechanics and God. Somehow. These guardian leaders of society base their decisions on it. It is the domain of the Father, the Ancient of Days. Okay.
Cool. And that's a mutant turtle.
That's a mutant turtle, but mutant turtle is the father.
No. If anyone is a father here, it's Splinter.
I know, that's weird. I don't know why. I understand why. I guess
they're
he's kind
all
of
his sons. That's the point. He's teaching them.
Okay. Mystical counselor. No, Raphael is not a mystical counselor.
No, he's an ego-driven hothead.
He's also not compassionate and loyal. The whole point.
Loyal to some extent.
Yeah, but isn't that
his whole thing is that he's a giant temperamental asshole, always fighting for leadership.
Yeah, which makes him not loyal, which is the whole thing. Like, he kind of, like, if he ever got the chance, he would so overthrow Leonardo and take his spot.
Yeah.
So, not loyal.
Ethical logic? What?
Feeling as it is expressed by the NFs is properly described as ethical logic. Ethical decisions require us to look to the future. It is the future orientation that drives our passion. Feeling necessitates passion. What drove the passion of the Christ? It is the domain of the Son, the coming Prince, the future Messiah.
What?
I'm not sure any of these represent
an idealistic personality who looks into the future. No, someone clearly knows nothing of. When we can debunk your argument using dog knowledge about the fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you have fucked up. You have failed in life.
Yeah. So that sounds more like a Donatello.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Let's see what he puts here. The Trinity type. Okay.
A digital understanding. Oh my gosh.
Well, that's kind of. I mean, if you mean digital in the sense that he does machines.
I've never watched the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in my life. Not the cartoon.
What is wrong with you?
I absolutely do not care what's being discussed right now. Absolutely.
We can pick a different one, but this is hilarious.
Okay, I know I saw another good one.
The planet one is good. The planet one that I saw.
Yeah, but this one is also kind of fun. You don't really need to read the text. You can literally just read the picture.
There we go. This is more. Oh fuck! It is also bullshit.
Well, I don't think you can find anything on this page that's not bullshit.
I probably know more about. I don't even know what I was gonna say, to be honest.
No, you just know more. Like in general, you don't need the about there.
Okay, so
22 Hebrew letters. I have no idea if that's correct, but sure. Plus the jot and tittle. Which jot and tittle, that's actually true. In the picture, the little like marks. I think they're technically a form of diacritic marks. So yeah, I have no idea if the number is correct.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had to go use the restroom and I heard tits.
No, tittle.
Oh fuck! I'm going then. I'm gonna go get a drink then. No.
Let's look while he does that. Let's look up how many Hebrew letters there are.
Marker.
Hmm?
Why the fuck did we let him choose a website?
Technically, I chose it, but
I can still hear you just because I'm not here.
Wait! You are here. You can hear us and you can talk to us. You're not being able to see the screen. It's not the same as not being here.
I have my wireless headset on.
From our perspective, you're here.
We're not talking to you. We're talking about you.
Stop listening in on our conversations. This is between me and Dan and the audience. Let's see how many. Sure, there's somewhere where.
Why do we care how many letters there are?
Because he's gonna correlate them to chromosomes.
Oh, there probably are 22.
Yeah, probably. Plus the jot and tittle.
Yeah. Plus the jots and tittles. These tiny marks can change.
Sounds like a song. Plus the jot and tittle. It's like its own, like old-time English words for something.
In a way more interesting note, it seems that Rectoblast and I both applied and got accepted to be Jenna's breasts.
To be what?
You heard me.
No, yeah, we just didn't understand what you said.
We've been accepted to be Jenna's breasts. I mean, what more is there to say?
Oh, okay. I thought she already got hers. I thought that was a point of the operation. Well, one of the operations.
Well, I mean, yeah, she has them, but like they need to be manned. So now Rectoplasty now
I
are
thought the point was
going
that
to be
she
breast
didn't
pilots.
that she didn't want them to be man, that she wanted them to be woman.
Well, Rectoplast is womaning one. Duh.
So you're confirming some kind of stereotype about her being in between?
No, actually, Rectoplast said this in a tweet. She just said that one of the breasts is woman now.
Being a breast is woman. Being a
No.
breast is a way of life.
This is gonna be so confusing for
No.
people who don't follow us on Twitter and have no idea who Jen is.
Speaking of which,
You don't-
follow us on Twitter.
You don't understand. I am manning one of the breasts, and Rectoplast is womaning one of the breasts. This is not really that complicated. Both we are now breast pilots. Don't you understand this? This makes perfect sense. Exactly. You don't know it, but they can actually detach and shoot off and fly around and attack enemies. I don't think you know that I'm an
What god
excellent
type?
pilot.
What god type is that?
Probably a JT type.
JT for Jen's tits.
Yeah, I thought that one out.
Cool. Two pairs of 23 chromosomes, total of 46. That's correct. That is how many chromosomes humans have. Isaac Newton. Wait, Isaac Newton? You didn't know about chromosomes. Described his research on the Temple of Jerusalem, a pattern which he understood to be very important for the future. Sure. Whatever you say, crazy person. He emphasized 5 important clues within one paragraph. The intestines, written in rainbow colors for some reason, of the sacrifice being washed in a bubbling spring. 2 sets of 23 judges at the entrances to the holy place. A spiral staircase seeming out of place and right in the center of the 46 judges.
What?
I'm guessing that because it's the same number and it mentioned a spiral staircase.
Hey, where did he get these numbers from?
I'm assuming from the Bible.
He emphasized 5 importance with one paragraph. No, this is from Isaac Newton.
Well, I'm guessing that he mentioned like that Isaac Newton researched something about the Bible. He was kind of crazy in some regards. This is what a chromosome really looks like. No, that's not what a chromosome really looks like. That is a model. Also, it only looks like that during certain times during the cell cycle. Asshat.
A chromosome is an analogous representation of the intestines of the sacrifice.
You have weird-looking intestines, then.
Cleansed at the spring of living water at the Temple of Jerusalem.
So because there's some numbers that match and 2 things that are long, like long strings, like kind of look the same, therefore God? What the fuck is it?
I guess this. Oh my goodness, I hate numerology nonsense.
But this one is even better. These tiny marks can change the complete meaning of a word. Thus, like the 21st chromosome decides our physical sex on Earth. And I get to say like our sex on Earth. So in
it was titties. I was right.
No, tittles.
Titties. The jots are the or obviously the balls, and the titties are the tittles or the titties. If this guy is allowed to make these kinds of connections, I'm allowed to make mine.
Okay, then I'm just want to point out, yeah, well, why, like, while the Y chromosome is, first of all, It's not the 23rd chromosome. The 23rd chromosome would be wouldn't be the sex chromosomes. That would be let's see. That's 23. That's the first of the 12 of chromosome number 12. You can't say that. You can't say the 23rd. If you say the 23rd chromosome, that doesn't. That's not the same as saying chromosome 23. Which there are none because that's not a name.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, from a biological standpoint, this is nonsense. Also, the X chromosome is larger than the and then at least I think they're arranged. If people don't know, the chromosomes apart from the sex chromosomes are by size. So number 1 is the biggest, number 2 is the second biggest, and so on. But the sex chromosomes, the Y chromosome is the tiniest because basically all it does is say, hey, make a this person should become a male, have male genitalia, if anything goes correctly, of course. The X chromosome has a bunch of stuff that's actually important for like functioning humans. That's why like things like being able to see the chromosomes, the genes that code for the receptors in our eyes, for example, that we used to see on the X. That's why color blindness is more prevalent in males. But like the X chromosome is not like a tiny mark. It's bigger than, I think, up to like 16 or something like that. It's a fairly large chromosome. So his analogy that it's tiny marks doesn't really make sense, unless like
micro. You're thinking about this too much. It kind of looks like a jot, and it kind of looks like a tittle.
Okay, that's just that's just because that he chose that metaphase spread. That's not my fucking fault.
The Y looks like a jot, and the X kind of looks like a tittle.
Yeah, because he chose that metaphase spread.
You're obviously thinking about this too much.
This has been my life for the last 7 weeks. I have an exam this week in this shit. It's stuck in my head. It's all I can think about. I'm only going to get more and more damaged as the next 2 years progress.
I am absolutely certain that the guy who created Godtype.com knows a little bit more about chromosomes than you do. I mean, after all, he found the jots and the tittles, so.
Also, yeah, Yella is correct that it's actually mammalian Y chromosomes are kind of weird because they're so tiny. In like birds, for example, they're huge, which is part of the reason why there is so much variation within the sexual characteristics of male birds. That's why some male birds have penises and some don't.
Wait, there's no birds without penises?
There's plenty of birds that don't have a penis.
Well, that's just weird.
They just like put their cloacas together, and then that's how they have sex.
Man, birds are weird. Yeah, but they're such a great example of sexual selection. I love them.
This makes me think of how I was attacked with bird mites. Fucking crazy. And then even though I looked at the thing on a microscope and went, oh, this is a mite, and I still fucking post and said the bird lies. Ah, God, make a fucking complete fool of myself, because I posted the thing and then I saw your tweet that says this is a mite. I'm like, I fucking know it's a mite, and then I went to check my thing and I was like,
oh no.
Oh.
Well, we did get a good fun.
Yeah.
So you got to show the obelisk one. The obelisk picture.
Obelisk the Tormentor. Let's see.
Obelisk the Tormentor.
That's a dumb reference right there.
Oh god.
So go down to the picture. The picture's the best.
Yeah. This one? Or
That one. I don't know. I don't care. They're all crazy. That nonsense.
Ooh.
Oh, that picture. Look at that picture.
I think you should have the honor of explaining this shit.
Explaining it?
Explaining it as in reading it.
Funny. So apparently the Earth used to be smaller, or something. I can't actually tell.
Then it discovered cake.
Yeah. So the circumference of the Earth is actually 13,320 of the Edenic Earth. So that's like the smaller Earth, I guess, or something. And on this smaller Earth that doesn't exist, that this guy made up, apparently all the penises that we have erected, and yes, I chose that word carefully, around the world are all 6,660 miles away from each other. That's about what I got out of this.
Okay.
If anyone else wants to add anything more insightful than that, go right ahead. But yeah,
I like how much. I know it's just a coincidence, but I like how much the Earth in this whole picture looks like a satellite. Like it looks like Sputnik.
So I got to give him credit because that's actually an oblate spheroid.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's just that it's oblate in. Is it oblate in the right direction? No, it's not because
it's kind of fatter on the bottom, like a potato.
No. But the little like, can you see my mouse?
Yes, I can see your mouse.
The finger down here is supposed to be the moon.
Oh, is that what that's supposed to be?
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen those posts, those like top 10 lists of facts you believe wrongly about space, and then they show like the Earth, and like this is not actually the Earth looks like, and they show this fucking complete potato. The Earth looks more like this.
Yeah, no, that's the gravitational field. That's
shit myself.
That's like, I can't remember if it's the gravitational field or if it's the shape of the Earth. If you accentuate it like a lot, but like no, it's an oblate spheroid.
Yeah,
and in practice,
I will go with what Neil deGrasse Tyson said. Is cosmically speaking, it's practically a perfect sphere.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because it is. Like it is so close to being a perfect sphere. It's not even funny. However, I did find out that the sun is closer to a perfect sphere than the Earth is, which I thought was interesting.
That's probably because it's larger.
I guess I don't know. I expected it to be more fluctuating, but it's not. Like it's actually
the larger gravity of it means that you can have the height of things going out of it is gonna be passable. It's gonna be smaller. That like things like a neutron star, because it has so high mass and so strong gravity, like it's very 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 round.
Mm-hmm. I guess that makes sense.
It's practically a very big atom for intents and purposes.
Well, kind of, because it's there's no protons in it. It's just neutrons.
Hey guys, Godtype has a periodic table.
Oh,
where?
At that, like, there's the about on the left, and then Dario Nardi's test, and then Godtype, and then periodic table. Oh my goodness! What is this?
That's not a periodic table. Oh, it's the fucking personality shit.
Is that what that is? The personality periodic table. Combines research from East Socionics and West NB Kiersey GT, which overwhelmingly shows.
I like how it's Godtype periodic table. Sheet 9, sheet 10.
Oh, you couldn't be bothered to name your sheets.
I don't think it's a matter of being bothered to name them. I think it's literally just stupidity.
Oh, I don't even. How does that even work? Do they have a personality test? Can we take a personality test?
Ooh, that would be fun.
Or the Dario Nardi's test.
Ooh! Yeah.
We get to take a personality test.
Okay, who should we take it on?
Dan.
Dan,
Yeah.
we need to test your personality.
Oh my god. Okay.
So
Yeah.
here are your options. Wait. You got to give him his options. So you can answer is not me, little me,
which is
somewhat me.
Copyright. No, little me is a
Guys,
copyright safe version of mini me.
Can you stop right there? I can actually read.
I know, but it's way funnier there.
It's funny if we read it to you.
Okay.
Somewhat me, mostly me, exactly me.
This is definitely me when I'm driving.
Freely follow your gut instincts and exciting physical impulses as they come up. That sounds wrong.
So Director Blast might have a more honest answer for this one.
No, we should make her take the test for him.
She's busy with boob issues. We are currently drawing up plans for torpedo fighter spaceship boobs. Anyways, disregard
Okay,
that.
what are you gonna say? What answer?
That's not me. I am not an impulsive person. I usually overthink everything I do.
Offer various unrelated ideas and see what potential they might suggest. That's a weird question.
So how many tangents do you go on?
That's kind of what that's the unrelated ideas, but
the question has two answers. If I'm on Adderall, none. Only one. If I'm not, it's.
I think it's we have to say without medication. That makes the most sense because that's your actual personality.
Yeah, mostly me.
Determine success by measurements or other objective methods such as time taken.
Not me, because wait. Determine success by measurement of other objective methods.
Yeah, do you determine the success by your emotions or by like actual looking like at how much you gained from it versus how much you used on it and stuff like that? Like, I think that's at least that's how I interpret it.
I mean, success is something you can measure quantitatively. I mean,
exactly. Yeah, but you do that?
Yeah, I do, of course.
So exactly me or mostly me?
Exactly me. Fuck it.
Feel inclined to be responsible for or take care of others' feelings.
I wouldn't say not me, because I do care about certain people's feelings, so it is a little me.
Little me.
Little me.
It really much sounds like a copyright safe, like mini me.
Please don't sue me.
Experience what the fucking word is that?
Premonition or foresee. Are you psychic, basically?
Foresee the distant future?
No, you don't. No one does. Notice whether the details in front of you match what you are accustomed to. Do you notice differences?
That's such a funny way of saying it, but yeah, I am quite observant. I wouldn't say exactly me, because there are details I don't particularly care about, especially when it's detail of people. But otherwise,
So mostly me.
Yeah, this is mostly me.
By definition, logical deduction or other nugget of reasoning. I like that nugget of reasoning. That's a good phrase.
You don't get a whole ingot.
I'm not being sarcastic here. I want to use that nugget of reasoning. That sounds cute. It sounds like you have this this tiny creature that's like a nugget of reasoning, like a small cute furry creature.
So everyone else puts on their thinking caps, but Dan gets out his nugget of reasoning now.
Okay, now you make it sound wrong.
Exactly. That's exactly me then.
feeling strongly that something is good or bad. That's a weird question.
Well, I tend to feel sorry for characters in computer games, but not in real life. So that's somewhat me, I guess you can say.
It's a weird question because it also depends on how good or bad it is.
Yeah, compassionately take on someone else's needs as your own. Again, only of people who's very close
So
to me.
little me.
Yeah.
Little me
Construct
also sounds like the way you would like say like something you would call it your own child.
or your dick.
Or both.
Trying to avoid that.
I wonder
joke.
what if the audience is actually listening to what we're saying. Is
They
anyone in
seem
the
to be
audience
having their own
like,
conversation about.
yeah, if anyone in the audience is still listening to what we are doing here, because we're doing actually something interesting, just pipe up and say.
Construct an
Wait,
argument to convince someone using evidence clearly in front of you both. That's exactly you, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, the thing is, evidence clearly in front of you both. That's such a weird way of saying it.
It's evidence that you present. That's what I.
Yeah, like, I mean,
That,
if you
that's
present
from what I
evidence,
know of you. You are a pretty evidence.
yeah, I mean,
Evidency. Yeah, I can make up words too.
evidence. Yeah, well, you kind of have to be in any hard science. Then again, no, and just it's kind of it's
Mostly
really
me or
strange.
exactly me.
It's exactly me, but it
Oh.
sounds so strange. It's like
Yeah,
you're
it's a
putting
weird way of
evidence.
phrasing it.
You can put the most clearest, most damning evidence in front of someone, but someone can choose to like not see it, I guess. But
Yeah,
We
anyways,
still have flat earthers.
it says
Yeah.
construct an argument to convince something. It doesn't say actually convincing them.
Oh, so it looks like, yeah, Dabber is definitely listening. All of them couldn't care any less, couldn't give any less of a fuck, it seems.
Well, fuck them, does then.
Yeah. Achieve a
Ach-
metamorphosis. Oh,
No.
wait. Achieve
Definitive
metamorphosis.
insight of powerful vision of change. No, because no one does.
I'm pretty sure Dan is going to come out as a pretty butterfly soon.
Yeah.
I was gonna
fuck
say Toad, but fair enough.
Compare an experience against a storehouse of familiar experiences to find what's reliable.
Kind of do that.
That does make sense.
Everyone kind of does that.
Look, if you I'm gonna put myself in the shoes of being a geologist in the field, then yeah, you do tend to look at things superficially, and if they're not,
everyone does this. You always take like your previous experience into account.
yeah, because you have to build a hypothesis first.
No, not just that. Like normal behavior that's
a good point, really.
Yeah, so exactly me, because everyone does that.
Yeah, you really have to, because it's sort of how your brain works in the first place. If you look at it, if you really look at it very literally and very simply, if you go to a front of a house, why is the front of the house?
Jesus Christ.
Because it's a fucking door. That's why. Anyways, we're gonna be here for a while still.
Remain in touch with what you want for yourself, what motivates you, and what is good.
That's somewhat me. I do sometimes lose touch with
Apply leverage to a situation to solve a problem in personally using minimal effort. I'm not sure what that means.
Apply leverage to a situation to solve a problem personally using effort.
Do you understand what it's asking?
Fuck, it just says somewhat me, leave it
Yeah, I don't know what it. Enjoy the thrill of action and physical experience in the present moment.
Fuck, of course, yeah.
Enjoy playing with random interconnections and patterns.
That is actually mostly me.
Recognize and usually adhere to shared values, feelings, and social norms to get along.
Yeah, I mean,
mostly, yeah, exactly.
I'd say mostly, because I mean, I don't try to go to a place and try to act like the odd one out, because at the end of the day, it's fucking not beneficial to your social life.
Conceive of a comprehensive plan to maximize progress toward multiple goals at once.
That's little me. I don't particularly plan things to such a good extent.
Freely enjoy doing what you want for your own personal happiness.
Mostly me. Sure, let this not be a complete selfish cunt.
I'm not sure what it says.
Concisely reference
No,
multiple frameworks.
Yeah, frameworks at once while problem solving.
Of course.
So
Yeah. Fucking
exactly.
just say mostly me.
Gain a profound realization from a mythical state of sudden no.
No.
Follow steps to ensure tasks are predictable and completed correctly.
Somewhat me. Yeah, it sounds horrible, but
engage in life's magical moments and meaningful coincidences as they happen.
You can say mostly me, because I interpret that as
yeah. Do you take things like when somebody
not literal magic?
Yeah, I'm not literally. Quickly move to take advantage of immediate options for action.
Oh,
you did say you overthink things, so.
Yeah.
So what?
Quickly move to. I'd say mostly me, because sometimes I do get like sort of flustered when these things happen.
Always remain true to what you want for yourself or others.
It's somewhat me.
Analyze and critique what doesn't fit with a well-defined principle.
Yeah, exactly.
Review a lot of information over time to confirm what is customary or standard.
I guess a lot of people do it, because you have to grow up.
Again,
I would say somewhat me. I'm not too afraid to just deviate from some standards.
Feeling attracted to the symbolic, archetypal, or mysterious.
It is mostly me, but I take mystery in a more literal sense. Like, yeah.
As in, instantly read visible cues to see just how far you can go.
This sounds like a fortune cookie, and we should put that at the end of that. Sorry.
I am somewhat good at reading people, but not.
Yeah, but it says to see how far you can go.
I'd say
like testing. I think that's basically implying testing people socially.
Yeah, that's little me. I don't particularly do that.
Keep following tangents and new ideas without limiting yourself to one. I mean, that's exactly us.
that's exactly us.
So exactly me. Mostly me.
Follow a straight line of reasoning. That is impossible. You can't follow a straight line of reasoning.
The previous.
Oh yeah, dude, exactly. That's all of us.
Follow a straight line of reasoning.
You can't always follow.
So not you.
Yeah, you have to take all of the things in account.
Yeah, help people feel comfortable by engaging in hosting and caretaking. That sounds sexual.
That does, but yeah, I'd say little me. Again, I only do that to people who are extremely
lay out methods for others to complete tasks. By
the way, I have to just say this. When I mean people extremely close to me, I only mean one person. Guess who that is?
Me. Definitely Rhetoric and Discourse.
Discourse, of course.
Who else would it be?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like you have someone you're technically like married to or anything. No.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean,
you are single and alone, so.
Yeah, it's definitely Rhetoric and Discourse.
Yeah. Everyone likes Rhetoric and Discourse.
I'm a fucking cat. How can you not? Look at that face. Look at that face. How can you not look at that face?
Lay out methods for others to complete tasks in time and resource efficient way.
Fuck it, no.
Readily communicate personally to all members of a group to feel united, to feel unity, not united, to feel unity.
I take control, complete control.
So not
Exactly.
you.
Yeah, of course I communicate everyone. I communicate everyone that I'm in control.
So exactly you.
Exactly, yeah. And all the good
Fine-tune
things I
a
did.
definition or concept to support a theory, perception, and framework. No, you don't.
No, I don't.
Because you don't fine-tune a definition to fit what you want.
Yeah.
Evaluate what is worth believing in and most important to who you be. Yeah, you do.
Evaluate what's worth believing was important to a certain extent, not exactly. I would actually say somewhat me.
Really? But you're fairly skeptical.
Yeah. But I'm not always. I wouldn't just choose something because it makes me feel good in the inside, you know.
But it also yeah okay.
You know, that's how I probably receive it.
Yeah, the questions are really vague.
I know, right? Maybe that's
Weave
the
into
idea.
a current dynamic. Weave into the current dynamics of a situation aspect. That's not English. Of other random contexts.
Fuck that shit. I have no idea what it means, so it's probably not me.
Somewhat. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
just
If
say
you don't
not
want to know
me.
what it means, spur action and pull off results simply by making your own presence felt.
I guess it's making yourself known. So I'd say mostly me, because there are situations where I try to not.
Transform yourself by focusing inward on a specific way you foresee you will need to be.
I say somewhat.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Fulfill the same work or activity every day at a comfortable pace.
fuck no. I procrastinate like a bitch.
Merge and feel intimate oneness with other people. Well, one
Again,
person.
without medication, procrastinate like a cunt. So yeah, merge and feel intimate openness with other people.
Well, oneness. Intimate oneness with other people. Well,
So
one
how many
person.
people do you have sex with?
I guess
One person. That's
yeah.
Rhetoric and Discourse.
Just
Yeah.
Rhetoric and Discourse. You know I'm your sugar daddy.
Merge and feel intimate oneness of. I wouldn't say other people. I would just say with a person.
We're just gonna ignore Rhetoric and Discourse. And
I'm guessing it means more generally, not like so little me.
Little me, yeah.
Stick to making decisions based on impersonal measures such as points. Points? What the fuck does it mean by points?
I don't know.
What?
Stick to making decisions based on personal measures. Yeah, I mean, you make decisions. I just say mostly me. Fuck it.
Continue to examine if choices harmonize with important beliefs.
Not me. Fuck it.
It kind of sounds like it's saying you're continuously evaluating your beliefs and the evidence for it in a weird way.
I don't know. Take apart something to figure out the principle on which, of course, yeah, I've taken
that's very
apart
much
so
you.
many shit.
Yeah. Push your mental limits to complete an array of innovative achievements.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly, or most.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly me.
Point out discrepancies between how things are and the way they've always been. Wait. If they've always been like that, that's also how they are now. By definition, if something has always been that way, it is also that way now. That's a nonsensical question.
I think I know what they're trying to say. You know, like, just do I point out discrepancies from the status quo or something like that? Let's just say mostly me, whatever.
Trust what emerges from brainstorming.
No.
That's the entire point of brainstorming. is
Yeah,
to
you
come
don't
up with
trust it.
ideas and then you evaluate them.
Exactly.
Easily get in sync physically with people and things around you.
That's
I'm not even sure what that means.
I'm pretty sure it means can you get into a group and socially just work and
Yeah.
not be a complete antisocial person. Oh yeah, I can easily just
So
pretend to
exactly.
fit in. I would say mostly me, because
Okay, that's all the questions. Your comments. Remember the understanding phrase. Understanding the phrases was part of the assessment. Read responses to see what comments about blah blah blah.
Leave that blank.
Fuck.
Okay.
Because sex is female.
Fuck off, it's male, you cunt.
No, it's a tank helicopter. What age? 16?
Make it 20.
Wait.
Your MBT code type.
Wait, we have to test something else.
Nah, just pick one.
Let's choose one.
Unknown. We don't know.
Oh, okay.
How did you decide on your type code? I don't know my type code. No ID. Please indicate the person.
Just enter a name. Just enter PurpleDan. That can be your code.
Let's see. Your cognitive profile.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, nice.
And we
We're
learned
not
about
gonna be able to read through this.
No. But that is, just so you know, this is Dan's cognitive profile.
this makes no sense. This is probably
Pseudoscience guys.
just go to the middle one. If you go down a tiny bit. Yeah, what does that one say?
Which one?
Extrovert sensing. Yes, we can read this. Cognitive process. Extrovert sensing. Yeah, I'm using my senses excellently. I have an excellent sense. Introvert sensing, and I use my introverted sensing. Good. So
I can see my spleen.
Extroverted intuiting. I reduce introvert. Extrovert thinking is good use. Introvert thinking, and no one knows what.
Yeah, you have fairly decent stats overall. The only thing is the introverted intuition. I'm not sure what exactly that stat is used for. I'm not familiar with this role playing game.
I see it says at the bottom there. Extrovert sensing apparently means immersing the present context, respond naturally to everything tangible you take for your sense, checking with what your gut instincts say, testing limits. Wait. I trust my gut apparently?
Well, I mostly trust my gut. It's only like when I have like some stomach issue that I don't trust it. Or like I guess when you get older, sometimes you can't trust it, especially when it's a fart.
Have you ever had a wet fart before?
I mean, yeah, you can't trust your intestines. You can't trust your gut. Sometimes it tricks you. Sometimes you think it's a fart, and then you poop.
And it squirts.
Well, I don't do that because I don't have the necessary equipment to do that.
And this is how we end the show, guys. This is how we're just gonna. Yep.
This.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bye.